Hey, what's up everybody? Ed here with Aquascape, and I am excited to announce our new EXT pumping system. We have been die-hard submersible pump people from the get-go. We've designed and built hundreds of thousands of features all over the world using our pump vault and our skimmer technology, where we have a submersible pump mounted inside the water feature. The pump is completely hidden from view. You have easy access to it, so it just makes that entire installation process smooth. But in certain applications, you're going to need an external pump. And what I mean by this is that recreational style pond where it's designed for people accessing the water. We wanted to show you some of these installation techniques as well as some of the things that we put together. You all know that we are designers and builders. We design and build water features on a daily basis. We know what it's going to take from an installation process to install it. We also know what it takes from that back end, from running around looking for all these little pieces and parts in order to put all these things together. We've put everything together for you to make your job a lot easier once you get on the job site. Let's start out right down here at the bottom. That's our pump vault. So the pump vault, the aqua blocks, that infrastructure down in the bottom is still going to remain the same. The only difference is instead of having the pump located down in the bottom, we're going to have a foot valve. So there's a check valve located inside of there. That check valve is a one-way valve, and what this is going to allow us to do is we can come over here, we could open this little valve up, we could charge the entire system, we could prime it with water. But when you do that, there's a valve over on this side. I want to make sure that you close that off. By closing this valve off, it's going to just fill this section of the piping with water. Otherwise, you're going to be filling all of that piping up, which can be very difficult and time consuming. So once the system's full of water, you're going to close this off, turn the pump on, and as the pump is running, you slowly open that valve up. It's going to start pressurizing the water, and then it will charge the entire system with water, and it will complete the cycle. The other thing that we've done is we installed a very simple, quick, easy disconnect like on all of our features. The reason we did that is in case we ever need access to that valve. So that union's going to allow us to disconnect that one piece. So in case there's ever a failure, in case we need to check it, if anything gets clogged inside of it, we have easy access to that. That's going to be completely covered up with our pump vault lid, disguise it with decorative rock work, fake stone, whatever it happens to be, to make that piece disappear. This is where it starts getting interesting. Once we get outside of that pump vault, we have a flange assembly. So we have two flanges that are going to come through with the gasket piece. We're going to make a watertight seal right down at that water line. By installing that flange and doing that watertight connection down below grade, now we can come in with that decorative stonework, because we're sticklers for this stuff. I want to make sure that the pumping system, the infrastructure, the filters, all that stuff disappears. So we want to make that transition as smooth as possible. So by keeping it underground, keeping everything nice and tight and clean, that allows us to disguise it a little bit easier. Then we start coming up above grade and we connect into the volute of the pump. Now the nice thing about this, again, we have more flanges in here in case we ever need to get to the pump. There's 8 bolts that we have to take apart. You can completely turn the pump out for servicing, and you're not even messing with that plumbing system. This is a different application for us, so we have to think of some of these different components all the way through that process. The other thing that I want to point out is you're going to need some sort of a footing or something to set the pumping system on. Solid surface that's slightly above grade. We don't want this getting flooded out with water. This can be left outdoors. You don't want it underwater though. So if it gets wet, rain, and things like that, it's not going to harm it. If you want to extend the life, obviously you want to cover this. You want to put a shelter over it. You could also extend this back further from the water feature. It doesn't have to be right next to the edge. We like it like that because it's easier for us to kind of work it into the overall design. But you can actually have longer sections of pipe, and you could put the pumping system further away. Once we have the pumping system in place, we're going to transition over into our traditional flexible PVC. You could see on this one it transitions to a 3-inch PVC. That's because this is a 12,000 GPH pump. So a 12,000 GPH pump, we want to make sure that we have that necessary volume in the piping system to handle that type of flow. For more information on the EXT pumps, go to aquascapeinc.com to check out our website so you can get all the detailed information that you need for your installations.
At Aquascape, your paradise is our passion. We connect people to water the way nature intended and have been creating and field testing water features for over 25 years to provide you with the most reliable products at the best value.